Well, well. Doesn't seem to be working right. I know it's not working. Hold on 1 second here. I need to make an adjustment. But anyhow, good morning. In the meantime, okay, that's working. And that's working. I don't know what's going on. All right. Hi, good morning. How are you? It's me. Most of you are celebrating July 4th today if you're in the United States. Congratulations on surviving that. Trump is at Mount Rushmore. We'll get into that later on. But I found a couple interesting comments this morning I want to go over before I get into my lecture or bullshit thing going on. Anyhow, Taylor and Travis and Kelsey are getting Taylor Swift and Travis Kelsey are getting married tonight. Supposedly, very secret wedding. 20 several $1 million involved in that. Just 1,000 people in a dress that she'll never wear. She will never wear again. Hopefully, she'll donate it to charity, and nobody will ever wear it again, because they'll sell it and keep it as a historical monument or something to one of the expensive weddings ever. So there's done. The Empire State Building did you see what happened? The couple that they climbed it, and they said, well, they climbed the Empire State. No, they didn't. They climbed the last, 1,200 feet or whatever it is. They had to navigate. It's much different than when I was a kid and was up on that top of the Empire State Building. It was much harder to do. They managed to hide out and then come out and climb up, and they climbed the antenna, which supposedly emits radio waves that can harm humans. I don't know whether that means they can't have kids now or what. But that's a very dangerous thing. But you're not going to fall 89 stories to the ground from there. You can't fall straight down from the Empire State Building. Anyhow, you hit outcroppings on the way down, but you're not going to fall that far. You fall from the top of the antenna to the base of the antenna. That's really how far you're going to fall. You're still going to get hurt pretty bad, but the biggest factor up there is the wind. It can be nasty up there. Sometimes they actually close down the outside. Now they have a glass enclosed area and everything. It's a lot different than when I was there. As a kid, it's like the Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon was nothing but you walked up to. If you were lucky, there was a fence rail. And I went to several places along the canyon where you could pull off the road and you could pull into an area, and you could walk over to the edge of the canyon, and there was nothing to stop you from falling to the bottom. None of that's there anymore. It's all different. It's a big tourist trap now, But they climbed up there. He proposed to her. She said yes, and I guess they're getting married in jail now. Now here comes a lovely comment. There is a man named Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel leads the world in list of top scumbags, assholes, bullshit artists, crackheads, whatever you want to call them. He made a statement that the Pope is an agent of communist China. And that's who she did to the Pope's in league with communist China. There's several reasons that's fucking bullshit. First is the Chinese are atheists. All communism doesn't believe in God. Communism's they're all pretty much atheists. So that's number one on the list of things that makes it a bullshit. The second is there's no way in God. There's just no way that any pope would ever be in league with. Now, you could say that they're friendly towards a country or they like their leader. That's fine. But to say that they're in league with, in other words, they're plotting against the government, they're plotting against the god Donald Trump, that becomes rather nasty shit, really. I mean, there's not much you can say about that. I don't know why he said it. I don't know, if he's the guy I think he is. The fool is the guy I'm thinking of. But this is so it's not. He's not the senator. I don't think he's a politician. I'd have to go back and look it up again. But it's really, really, really some of the dumbest shit you can possibly say in the world. You're accusing the Pope of being a communist agent. I don't know. I guess we still have, stuff going on between the countries of spies and stuff like that. But I don't think it's as bad as it used to be because you don't have to. You just go in and ask Trump, can I have the documents explaining your defense system? Sure, no problem. So they don't have to spy. They just go in and ask Donald for the documents, and he hands them over to them. This country's going to be in a lot of trouble because of him. Well, the world's in a lot of trouble. But anyhow, moving along. I don't know whether that's Tran or Iran. I can't remember the story with it, so I won't talk about it. Okay, let's get into the rant. My daily complaint about everything. This is something I wasn't quite aware of, and I don't know why I wasn't aware of it. But Trump is on his way to Mount Rushmore for the 4th of July, part of the 250th anniversary of the United States. And one of the things I didn't realize was that he's been trying to get himself placed, a statue of him placed at Mount Rushmore. Now, if that happens, I'm leaving. I'd say I'd leave the country. I already left the country, but I will gladly give up my American citizenship and lose all my benefits. Just because I wouldn't be able to stand it. And that I think would be the end of that would be the absolute end of the United States if that's done. They probably have to put the 101st Airborne Division out there to protect the place, because I think that I wouldn't be the only irate person about that. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm scraping some stuff off my desktop. It's just how I get work done, because I don't sit at my desk all the time. It's not very comfortable, so But anyhow, you're going to put a criminal on Mount Rushmore. Now, there are some people that deserve to be there. I think, politician-wise, Kennedy definitely deserves to be up there. Even LBJ, because he got a lot of the stuff through Congress that Kennedy wanted to get through Congress. They should go join. They should be next to each other. I mean, nobody really thinks of that, but what do you think all that desegregation and all that other stuff got there because, by magic, somebody had to help get it through. So you have that. See, and I don't know whether I call it Martin Luther King and what have you, that, I don't know whether you're going to put non-politicians in. Well, I guess you can. Well, no, not really. Yeah, they're non-presidential. So, yeah, you could put, I'd put Martin Luther King up there, too. Or I would just leave it the way it is, Founding father, part of the founding fathers, not all of them, but some of them. But definitely not Trump. Now, if you're going to put Trump up there, then you have to say, well, who else you have to put up somebody as a precursor, don't you? And I said, yeah, you do. And this is who I put up first. First guy I would put up is Billy the Kid. Now, he is the first juvenile delinquent, really, in the United States. Number one juvenile delinquent. You know, his pranks usually cost somebody their lives, but that's just, the way it goes. And after him, now these are all people in line with Trump. So you put up Jesse James. Jesse James taught the world how to rob banks and rob trains. And he got shot in the back, which is, we could always say it might be similar to Trump. We don't know yet. But he was one of the original big-time criminals in the United States. And after him, we waited a few years, and Dillinger came along. John Dillinger. John Dillinger is responsible for the FBI and J. Edgar. He pretty much helped get that thing off the ground when they shot him. And that's the question. There's still a lot of controversy, some controversy that maybe he is alive and maybe he isn't. Maybe he didn't survive it, Dillinger. They said they found stuff afterwards that, proved he was alive. And they said the same thing about the guys that escaped from Alcatraz, They just never found any bones, so they don't know. And the same with, what's his name, that jumped out of the plane. They don't know where he is either. They never found any bones, DNA, stuff like that. So you have, then you had Dillinger. After Dillinger, and they were pretty close in the timeline, is Dillinger and Al Capone. Now, Capone began the organization of the criminal empire. He became the most powerful man in the United States as a thief. He was, that's like Escobar was in Colombia. He a lot of government influence and everything like that till he got stupid and pissed off enough people that they decided to go after him. And they could never catch him for what he was, the really, truly crime, any of the crimes that he committed, the really bad ones, murder or anything like that. They never caught him for that. And the people don't really understand that. He was caught for tax evasion and consequently died of syphilis. But he wasn't caught for the crimes he actually committed, the murders he committed, the St. Valentine's Day massacre that he ordered, or any of the other crimes, spectacular crimes that he committed. He got arrested for tax evasion. And I don't even know if that's what they called it back then. Next up. Now this man, Lucky Luciano. Lucky Luciano organized crime into a major corporation. He set up the commission in Chicago, settled disputes. Capone was part of that, but Luciano was the big boss. Luciano was in jail, and everybody said then they finally deported him. And why? Well, when he was in jail, he made a deal with the U.S. government, with FDR, really. And I think FDR met with him. I'm not sure, but anyhow, it was to get Luciano to get the sympathy of the Sicilians in Italy to help defeat Mussolini, and it did. He did. He made it safer for the American landings and whatnot. He got them all kinds of information. He did a pretty good job. And then FDR's response to that was to ship him out of the country. And there are a lot of others since then. Gotti's, some of the other big names in New York City, and the members of the Five Families, which are considered the elite in crime. And then you got into Donald Trump, who outshone them all. He managed to corrupt the government He's managed to steal $2 billion from the American public. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a tragedy beyond tragedies. But his face is not going up on that mountain. I hope and pray. Not in my lifetime, anyhow. All right. Well, I've abused my time here enough. I've bored some people, gave you some facts about some criminals, which is, always important in life. But, and I think if you're going to put Trump up there, you got to put some foreigner people up there. Like, Putin should be right up there with him because, Trump's got his hand on his dick the whole time. So might as well put them up there together. Okay, I'm getting carried away again. That's it, guys and girls, and babies and dogs and cats and mice and lizards. I will be back tomorrow. I promise. I can see all of you are so excited about that, isn't it? Okay. All right, everybody, take care. Subscribe to my channel. You can run and hide faster because you'll know it's what time it's coming on and everything, and when it's on, you don't even have to look at it. All right. So in the meantime, people, everybody have a great day. Enjoy yourselves, and I'll see you tomorrow.